So we make then basically probably groups in 8, 9 people around that. So that's then something you have to do on your own, but I trust you that you can self-organize. So I'll talk a little bit about empiricism, what empiricism is, and how it applies to Scrum, why Scrum is basically getting more and more traction in the industry, not only in the IT, but other industries as well. And let me just dive in. So, and now my remote isn't working. So that's me. Originally I'm from Germany, didn't spend too much time there after I finished my studying. I spent 8 months in Frankfurt, 8 months in Nuremberg. Then I spent 2 years in the UK. That was when everything was about .com me. That's when I went to the US, and then the bubble burst. And I was first on the East Coast. I lost my job. Then I found another one on the West Coast over there, which wasn't bad because that was kind of sunny Silicon Valley. And that was the place where I really kind of had the chance to practice Agile and get into that. And originally, I came more from an XP background, and there's a very interesting training on the other side, I guess, right now about test-driven development and things like that, which are very much, for me, still at the core. So Scrum is one aspect, but good engineering practice like XP the other ones. Well, a bunch of companies I've been working with, and in 2009, I returned from the US to Europe. I'm right now in Switzerland. That's Ian Ken Schwaber. I don't want to go too much into details. He's one of the inventors of Scrum, him and Jeff Sutherland. And we have a full program, so let's move on. So, we all know this one. This is our hated or liked, depending on which side on the fence you are, waterfall. And the thing is that we plan our work, then we analyze our work, then we design our work, then we do our work, then we test our work, then we find all the issues with it, and then we ship it. I mean, that's already, I was hinting at something. I mean, it's a waterfall. Water doesn't flow uphill, only downhill. But there's implicit, like what we call often hardening or stabilization. So I think this makes it already clear that there's something not really properly working. And therefore we put in those checkpoints, milestones, gates, many fancy names. In the end, it's about to make sure that whatever we do here is actually right, so that we analyze the right problem, that we had the right solution. And the way I have seen it in industry most often to happen is that there's a binder going around, and then you have to read through it, and at the last page you have to put in your name and you have to sign it, that you read it, and that you agree with it. And one of the practices I've been seeing over again, you get this binder, you go to the last page, oh, 8 people signed it already. Okay, I put my name on as well. So this is not really about making sure it's right, it's about perceived safety. It feels good. You look at something, people apparently looked at it, they said it's right, but is it really right? Do we know it's right? So that's the question. So, and one of the problems with that approach as well is that work is organized by activity. That means we plan everything. We analyze everything. We design everything. We implement everything. We test everything, and then we ship it. And basically, at the one end, we have only one deliverable, which we push out maybe once or twice a year. So this is, work is organized by activity. So this is our waterfall now shown in a sequential way. And this basically leads to big batches. So our batch size is the whole application we are going to ship. So it's all. And then really we cross our fingers and we pray it's the right thing. The market likes it, people buy it, and we make money with it. But I'm asking you, is this the right approach to develop software? And this is actually the point where we make our first game. So this is when you now basically form groups of, you should be at least 9 people per team. So if somebody is not enough, maybe somebody could jump in from the outside or something. So again, I explain, this is probably the most complicated games of all we're going to do, and this is the first one actually. So I need 4 workers in every team, and I need 3 managers in every team then they need one vice president of sales and a CEO. So these are the roles we play with, okay? I just tell you up front, being a worker is the most fun, okay? But if you feel like, today I want to be a CEO, be my guest. We are in the business of coin flipping. So I have always 20 coins here, and you need to flip them. And once you have flipped them as a worker, you move them over to the next worker, and he flips them again, and so on. So basically, the coins have to be flipped 4 times. And we go with varying batch sizes. So we have 20 coins overall, so our initial 2 batches is 20, so everything at once. When I say go, the first worker starts to flip the first coin. The first 20 coins, moves them over. And at this point, the first manager stops. So the first manager stops when the last coin has left his worker. Since the batch size is 20, it's like, once he moves everything over, that's it. Then the next worker flips the 20 coins, moves them over. The manager 2 stops when the last coin leaves that worker. And that keeps on going so. And then basically they get flipped by worker number 4. And then when the first coin arrives at the vice president, he stops. And when the last coin arrives at the CEO, he stops. Again, with a batch size of 20, that's the same moment in time. So if we then go down to a batch size of 10, the worker flips 10 coins, moves them over, flips the next one, moves them over. Then the manager 1 stops, okay? And then the same thing again. But at this point, the vice president will stop after the first 10 coins have arrived, and the CEO after the last 10 coins have arrived. And then we repeat the same thing with 5, and then twice with 1 again. Has everybody understood? Okay, let's form the groups first.
Okay, so we're going to start. You remember your numbers. Yeah. So first, who's the 9? Who's 9? Who was 9?
That's it.
The most important part for every group is to pick the CEO. Okay, pick the CEO. And you're going to pick the manager, VP. 3 managers.
Samo kad mi objasnite što treba da radim.
Well, can you have 2 CEOs? Which team is ready? Lift your arm. Which team is ready? For the game. I will repeat them once more time, but I want the teams now to be, so I give you a little bit of advice, okay? So I think it's best if the workers sit at the table, close to each other, and the managers maybe stand behind their workers so that they can observe better. I guess that should have been enough time for the workers to sit at the table. So who is a manager? Who is a vice president? And do we have all a timer? Anything where you can stop the time? You have all a timer? Workers, you sit at the table. Managers, you stand behind your worker. You make sure they work properly. Okay, you really kind of observe them. Behind the last worker, we build up extra pressure. We have the vice president and the CEO. So y'all, okay? This looks pretty good. Okay, great. So this team is ready. Look at this team. This is a great example. Okay? Do all the managers, vice presidents, and CEOs have a timer? Okay, so when I say go, you start your timer. And then when the last coin leaves your worker, you stop. And when the first coin arrives at the vice president, you stop. And when the last coin arrives at the CEO, you stop. So vice president, it's the first coin. CEO, it's the last coin. Yes, you all start your stopwatch at the same time. I say go and you start your stopwatch. Okay, so is everybody ready? So that's why we have 2 rounds in the beginning. So it's to. So are the coins ready? We have the 20 coins here. We have them here ready. Okay. So I say go and you start the timer. And you start to flipping the coins and everything else. I hope I had explained.
Our worker is done or whenever?
No, you look only at your worker. So the managers, you look only at your own worker. You look only at your own worker. Apart from the last worker, which has the vice president and the CEO. Okay? Let's just give it a try, okay? Let's learn from our mistakes. Okay, there was this question, do all the managers need to count the time? Yes, you count the time of your worker and you all start the watch at the same time. We can, look, these are ready, guys. Okay, I count to 3 and then we start and then we see what happens, okay? Are you ready? Ready, set, go.
Okreti, samo okreti sve brzo, okreni jedan po jedan. Okreni sve, sjedi sve. Proslijedi na sljedeće, samo proslijedi na sljedeće, sve. Ja sad brojim svog, jel? Gdje podvora imaš dvije? Jel idi u podvore? Jel ti zaustaviš onda? Brzo.
Ajmo malo brže raditi. You can cheat.
Okay, it looks like the teams are already through. So Faris will take from those teams more at the other side of the room the times. And can one of you guys write down the times you had? And so can you give me the time from manager 1 you had?
23.
Just round it to the next 15. Manager 2, how many did you have?
30.
Manager 3? Vice President?
55.
And the CEO should have the same then, because they arrived at the same time. Okay? So, Manager 1, how many seconds did you have?
17.9.
Make it 18 then. Let's just round it up. Manager 2? 13? But you should have more because you started at the same time than Manager. 13, it's 21, 31. No, it's the same. So, just as a quick validation whether we kind of moving along. So, Manager 1 is between around 15 seconds, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. Manager 2 around 30 seconds. The seconds to a minute. Is this what we have in the other teams as well? Cool. Excellent. So now let's do the same exercise again. It's just, this was a warm-up. Now your fingers are kind of used to flipping coins. I'll just give you a second to get set up again. Vice President, CEO. Okay. Ready, set, go. Okay, it looks like the teams are wrapping up. Perfect. Okay, now let's go ahead and write down the times again and see if whether there was an improvement, which I would expect because you get more professional in that. So, 12, 23, 34, 45, and then we should have the same here again. Okay. Yeah. So, I think all the teams have slightly improved. So now you're in the groove of flipping coins. You know how to do that. So now we do the same thing again. Please listen. That's important. Now we don't flip all the coins. We flip 10 and we move the first 10, and then we flip the second 10 and move them. Okay. That means you as a manager, you still stop when the last coin leaves your worker. You, a vice president, stop when the first coins arrive, and the CEO when the last 10 coins arrive. Okay? Vice president, you stop when the first 10 coins arrive, and the CEO when the last 10 coins arrive.
Could you repeat again? Wait. First,
Are the workers ready? Lift your arm if you're ready. Okay, I repeat once more. Change. You stop when the last coin leaves your worker. That would be the second batch of the 10. The last coin you stop as a manager. As a vice president, you stop when the workers ready, managers ready, vice president, CEO. Okay, ready, set, go.
samo napravite dvije skupine da se može to. Sam pa da vam ispadne.
Okay, it looks like you're done. So, manager 1, what is your time? 14. Manager 2? Manager 3? 26. Vice President? 31. And the CEO? 41. Okay. So what we should see now is that the times with the workers might be a little bit... Are they still working? Some people need more time. You are last, but don't be stressed, okay? So do we have the times from all the teams, the workers, and the managers? Okay. So this was 10 coins. Now we go down to 5 coins. So that means now we have 4 batches instead of 2 batches. The rules are the same. So manager, you stop when the last coin leaves. Vice president, you stop when the first coin arrives. And CEO stops when the last coin arrives. I guess you have understood the principle now. The workers, are you ready? Lift your arm if you're ready. Okay. Okay. Workers, are you ready? Are you ready, workers? Lift your arm if you're ready. Yeah. Managers, how are you doing? Vice President, CEO. Okay. Take a deep breath. Okay, take a deep breath. Ready, set, go.
Okay.
Okay, this team is ready. They have the flipping. Okay, done as well. So go ahead, write down your times. 17 here. Manager 3. 21. Vice President? 10. And the CEO? 14. Okay. So have you written down the times? You should see it kind of really decreasing for the Vice President going down and the CEO as well. But 14 seconds, this is kind of, you stopped when the last coin arrived. Okay, good. So let's make it, we'll now make a round of one and we make only one round of one coin, otherwise we will probably be short on time at the very end. There's arguing going on. Let's do the last round. One coin, you flip, you move, you flip, you move, you flip, you move. Same rules apply. Manager, you stop when the last coin leaves. Vice President, you stop when the first coin arrives. And CEO when the last coin arrives. Okay, one coin, flip and move. Are the workers ready? Lift your arm if you're ready. Yay. Managers? Woo. CEO, Vice President, okay. Take a deep breath. Last order. Ready, set, go. Okay, it looks like all the teams are done. So write down the times. Manager 1. 17. Manager 3. 21. Vice President? About 5, that's right, yeah. And 6. That's really the last coin. You don't have the time? Okay. Let's put a question mark here then. Okay, do all the teams have the time written down? Okay, thank you very much for participating. You can take your seat again. I'll just kind of would like to go through the numbers quickly and ask you a couple of questions, what we have seen. So, okay, do you have times? Well, let me just ask you, for the one coin at the very end, what is your CEO's time? What do you have? Huh? 25? Okay, let's also choose 25 then. Okay, so what do we observe? What have you just observed? Can you give me some ideas about that? Okay, let me have a quick look at your numbers. No, I think it changed. It's nice. I mean, so, okay. Well, I mean, this is interesting. The workers' time stays about the same, but look at your vice president and look at your CEO. What does this mean for you? Yeah, if you compare, let's say, look at the second 21 and we have only one with one. Look at those numbers. We have 39 and here we have 21, which is a lot actually in your case because we had 5 seconds. 5, okay. And 53 and 22. So think about that. From what does it mean for your business? I mean, in this case, actually, this is not right because these two numbers, they should be the same. Somebody wasn't listening. So because the vice president and the CEO get stop at the same moment in time in this setup, in this configuration. So the meaning is that here you have one feedback after about close to a minute, and here you have the first chance for feedback, first chance for validation, be it your quality, be it that it's the right feature, be it that customers buy it, right architecture, whatever, scalability, all of those concerns, you can validate this really early on. And this gives you lots of chance to react to that. And it shows that here we think in one batch, here we have like a value stream. You know, and it was mentioned this, with the DevOps as well. This is a different thinking. This is not thinking in building a big thing. It's about having a pipeline through which we generate value. And the other thing is that because if we don't work in big batches anymore, but we start to think in features and functionality. Now this one coin is a piece of functionality. You develop it and you put it into production. And then you can immediately validate whether it's the right thing or not. And then you have a chance to react. Or maybe you just discover, gosh, there's something wrong, it's broken. There's a bug, you can immediately fix it. You don't see it so late in the game. So this is one of the important aspects about that. And I think this was also something which was mentioned in the workshop we had before in this room.